We finally got our storage system, dude. Ah, it's so epic. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Stoneopolis. Today, we're finally going to be getting to some AE2 to finally get ourselves a storage system of sorts because our items are all over the place, man. We've got so much stuff and not enough space. I mean, we got enough space, but you know, we really want to just have everything all connected into one place. That way I don't have to just keep walking around all over the place. Like, it's a mess. And especially since in the last video, we got ourselves some new power generators. In between episodes, I hooked up 2 more. So, you know, it all works out. But you might have noticed I changed up the design a little bit since last episode. I actually had to put the output routing nodes up here, so that way I could take the stuff from inside the storage, put the coal into here. Because for some reason, I don't know why, an input node appears to be able to go through walls, but output doesn't. I don't understand it. These guys wouldn't work. That one did. So I just wired everything out from downstairs. I actually also changed out for MV wiring in between episodes because I now have access to Electrum. Now for the big stuff. To get ourselves started with AE2, we need to get Certus quartz, which means we need to actually break up some of this quartz. I don't think I ever actually touched it. So there we go. Now we got the quartz. Actually, there should have been a mission if I did. So, okay, so yeah, I totally did touch it. So then now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to head over to this pure water right here, realize that the iron mesh is not in there, and then switch it out for the actual iron mesh. And there's also some iron dust in here. So I guess while I'm waiting for that, I can go ahead and put this in the smelter. Oh yeah, also side note, I am actually recovering from a cold. So if my voice sounds a little weird or if I just cough randomly mid-sentence, that's why. So bear with me. Alrighty, Certus quartz is all done. There we go. So it's actually a really good thing I noticed that we got the iron, as next up we actually need to make ourselves a couple of these blast furnaces. And the reason for that is, when it comes to this Certus quartz dust, we need to turn into 2 things. Certus quartz crystals and silicone. Now, if I burn it inside of a normal furnace, I get silicone. But by burning it in the blast furnace, then I can get the Certus quartz crystals.
Later.
Alrighty, silicone and the Certus quartz crystals are both done. There we go. Now we got both those missions accomplished. So now those both lead off into 2 things. So I can't continue with the silicone just yet because I need to get all sorts of other things with the crystals first. So do either of these give me more? That would have been more ideal than freaking B-Bucks, but that's fine. So now we really just need to go ahead and start. So we can go ahead and make ourselves this charger right here. We may also be able to get this. No, I can't get that until I get the Flux crystals, but that's fine. So for us to utilize this, we need to hook it up to some power. Now, I could just add a new wiring, or I could take from these things, as I already have a butt ton of latex and don't need any more right now. And after that, what we do is we just go ahead and pour... Oh. That was a lot already. Okay, cool. But yeah, we just go ahead and put our Certus quartz crystal in here, and then we get charged Certus quartz. Then after this, we just go ahead and dump all of these into the same water source block. And it should... Oh, there it goes. Mix into the Flux crystals. So does it make 2? For the recipe? It does, because I put 4 of each of them in, and then it... Okay, cool. So now that we got that, the next thing we need is going to be this inscriber. We already have all the iron and the flux. We just need a sticky piston. Okay, I know how to make a piston. Have I ever gotten slime? Okay, so I have 2 options. My option 1 is to summon a slime with green dye, but I don't have the green sapling, which takes ender pearls, which means I'd have to fight some more of the ender mites to be able to make those. Option 2 would be to make it from magma cream, which I can get by fighting the magma cube, who's just blaze powder. Okay, wait, no, I do have a blaze rods. Okay, yeah, so I can totally do that. Okay, so short intermission then. This was a bit more complicated than it needed to be. Alrighty, short intermission is over. I managed to get everything I need for the sticky pistons. So now, we go ahead and make those up, and then we can get ourselves our inscriber. There we go. So, what this thing does, it's actually very interesting how this baby functions. It's like, it's a weird thing that I'm not sure I fully understand it, but basically what it does is it's another sort of crafting for AE2 specifically. And its automation sucks. Now, before we can go ahead and use it, we're actually also going to want to go ahead and make a little iron square right here. Put that there, and there we go. Now we got ourselves our silicone press. With this, we can now make use of this baby by plopping that there and our silicone right there. Power then transfers into this baby, and then we get ourselves our printed silicone, which is this quest right here, which actually gives us another one. There we go. So now here's the kicker. We need 3 more of these presses, and each one of them is going to use this printed silicone. So that's going to be fun. All of them require iron, and it looks like the material that the next one goes into. Gold's going to be the most annoying because I'll show you. So the only way that I know of being able to get gold in this mod pack is very annoying. We get netherrack, right? We use this strainer with the blazing blood up there to get netherrack. Then, if we were to put this one in here with this one, we then have a chance at getting nether gold ore. Now, for those of you who know, nether gold ore, when broken, makes only nuggets. Now, in this mod pack, we can crush it to get to dust, and then we can smelt that to then get an ingot. So 1 makes 2, but it's still such an annoying process. I mean, like, I'm also pretty sure that the gold one doesn't have a very high chance. Yeah, 20% to be able to turn netherrack into gold. And also 20% to be able to get the netherrack from the stone. So, yeah, gold is the most annoying. And then there's this third one right here. Normally this one's diamonds, but now it's something called a warpist shard. So, I don't really know what this thing is. But it looks like I just need to charge an empty budding stone. Alrighty, so now I got myself the budding stone. So I should just need to place that in. And yeah, it looks like it's charging. So once this thing's done, then it should... There we go. Can I use a cluster grower? I can. Which means... Oh. That says diamond up there. Oh, so... I'm not gonna get... What? That's cool. Did not expect that. Okay, but now we got ourselves a warpist shards. So now we should have everything to be able to make ourselves our calculation press, our engineering press, and our logic press. There we go. We'll only ever need 1 of each of these, so that should be good.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty, I've made all of the printed circuits, so now I'm just going ahead and making all of the processors right here. And I've been looking through this a little bit because, as some of you may have astutely noticed, the storage stuff isn't actually listed in the quest line. So I had to do a little bit of digging into this just to make sure there was like nothing that they were going to shoehorn in that'd make things complicated. And lo and behold, there's something they shoehorned in that makes things complicated. And that is the Sky Stone. Only way to get it, and this is annoying, is if I buy it with the catalog. So if I look at how many B-Bucks I have, oh, I have 36 in here. Oh, well, that's no problem at all. Yeah, no, I can just open it up and, yeah, there we go. Now we got ourselves some Sky Stone right there. So now that we've gotten ourselves all of our processors, though, we now have access to everything we're going to need. Except for one thing that I have noticed, which I'm actually going to need a little bit of. But I can't seem to find it on the list, so maybe we'll be fine without it. We'll see what happens. But, first thing we're going to need to make is actually going to be some of this stuff here called quartz glass. Just some quartz mixed with glass. Go figure. So we got the glass, we've got everything else. We should be good to go to start off the mission. So, I did notice I'm going to need some copper. Good thing I just still have some left. This way we can make this baby right here called the energy acceptor. Now, what this thing does is it should allow conversion of multiple different types of energy into AE2's energy source. I don't know if it's 100% required, but at least it'll let me know if I need it, and it's ridiculously cheap. It's not hard to get it at all. After that, we would need this baby called the energy cell. Now, for us to get this, we need Fluix dust. Now, this is very easy to get. We just need to come right over here, and then go ahead and pour this into here, and then this will then get crushed down into the dust. Now I should have it, and then that'll get us the energy cell, which, as it says, will just hold the power for this whole thing. After that, we can go ahead and make ourselves the reason we needed the Skystone in the first place, the ME controller, which is the brains of this whole thing. After that, we're just going to need to make ourselves this new thing right here, which is going to involve... I have glass. I guess it needs to be normal glass then. That should be enough for the moment. And then with that, together with more of these... Ow, my voice stopped there for a second. But now we can go ahead and make ourselves our ME drive. There we go. So now we have all of the basic stuff for this. But now we need the actual stuff to store inside of it, and that comes with these storage discs. Now, for us to get these storage discs, we first will need storage components. So now what we can do, if we were to go ahead and then plop these guys right into here, now we have ourselves 1K ME storage components. Now with these, I could then make 1K ME item cell storages, which would allow me to store 1,000 bytes of stuff with 63 different types. So if I understand it correctly, it's 63 different kinds of items, and I can hold 1,000 total in this one disk. And I can have 3 of those, so that's 3K. But if I combine these with more redstone, if I combine these guys together, for some reason, now we can do 4K. Completely skipping the need for having a 4th one, all within this one. It does take 3 of the previous one, but it's fine. And this process repeats, where you mix 3 of them with various ingredients. I don't actually have glowstone. I mean, it's not hard for me to get, but if I were then to mix 3 more of these 4K ones, I'd then get a 16K. But that would also mean that I would need 9 of these 1Ks, which I do not have access to at the moment. So we'll settle for the 4K for right now. Which means with the power of more redstone and this thing together, we then get ourselves our first storage cell. So now all we need to do is just set up our spot for this. Alrighty, this should be good. So now if we go ahead and put our disk into there, now everything should be ready. The only thing that we are missing is going to be power, and one other thing I will get to in a moment. But for right now, we can just go ahead, connect our MV wire connector right to here, and I think that block might be in the way. It is not! There we go! So now all that goes into there. This by its own, because this thing, by clicking, it'll actually let me see how much power it's using. Current rate, it is using 6.1 AE a tick, and the passive drain is 0.02. Now this is a giant battery, so that should be fine, but in terms of like, okay, they're kind of having seizures, but I don't think my power is going down. That was the biggest concern I had with all this. Okay, everything should be ready. So, now that we have all this ready though, how do we actually store things inside of this? We don't actually have access to that right now. For that, we need a terminal. Now, for us to get this terminal, it's not terrible. We're just going to need some more Fluix dust and nether quartz for an annihilation core, and then the same recipe but with Certus quartz instead for the formation core, and then something called an illumination pad, which is going to make me need to get the glowstone. Okay, I can get all of this very easily, but it'll be better if I do it off screen, so I will be right back.
Much later.
Alrighty, I got everything. I managed to get the glowstone. That actually also completed a chapter for me, because apparently the only thing I didn't do in this chapter was get the glowstone. So, that's always fun. But, now we got everything for our ME terminal. And while we're here, let's actually also go ahead and make ourselves this thing here called the ME interface, and then make this thing here called the ME storage bus. You will find out why I'm doing what I'm doing right now soon enough, but let's just look through around here. I need to find something specific. Okay, so either 30 V-Bucks isn't enough for it, or it's just not inside of the catalog. That is okay. I can live with that. So, what we need to do is we need to go ahead, put this flux cable right here, put another one up there, and then right here, we go ahead and put our terminal. And then, we can access everything. That is beautiful. Now, I can customize this however I'd like. I don't know why it's so small in this one. That's different, but I usually like it like this anyways, so that should be fine. So now we should be able to store stuff in here. There we go. We got all that ready. So then after that, we want to go ahead and put that storage bus there for a moment, because now we need to make something specific. So what we're going to need is going to be this simple compacting drawer, and we need to make 4 of these. Okay, that leaves me with 10, that's good. And then we also need 4 of these void ingots, and then 1 of these void portals. Now, for those of you who have never seen my exploit before, what I can do to get more of these void portals without actually having to make them is I can just go in here, because, like, if you look at this, like, I mean, it's cheap for me now, but, like, I really don't like having to do that. And then we just type /back, or no, it's /home, actually. And then it sets us to home, which we need to do /set home first for this to work. And then after that, if we were to go back into here, we'll find another void portal. And also concrete if you've broken it. At this point, I'm just gonna go by a new rule. If it's in the game, it's legal. So then we can go ahead and combine all this together to make ourselves this framed controller access point. After that, we're gonna just need cobblestone and some stone to give this thing the right texture. I just need to remember where it will be. Okay, it should be like that. There we go. Now, we place this right here and then connect this to here. So now this controller access point is just like this storage controller, but it's an access point to it. So now, I was afraid of this. Just because this has that access point does not appear like it wants to work. Because I know that if we connect that storage bus to an inventory source, it does something very special. Which, I mean, you're all smart. You all probably figure it out by now. It lets me access another inventory from within this thing. Which is why this annoys me that this doesn't work when it very clearly should. Okay, then, so instead, if I wanted to do this, then what I would need to do is I would need to get to this thing with my cables. I just don't have enough currently. So I guess then all that's left for me to do is see if all of my stuff will actually fit inside of this baby.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, so I ended up using up all of the types, but I did manage to get a good bit of my stuff in here with just this one disc. The only real problem was the severe diversity of all my items, but I managed to empty out this chest, so that's good. Cobblestone I'll probably just put into another drawer that'll hook up to over there. Might actually move this one over as well, just to get all that working out. But yeah, lots of plans going on here, but we finally got our storage system, dude. Ah, it's so epic. And the best part is that with this storage system, you can actually pipe stuff in and out through it and all around the place. So while these cables may be a bit more expensive, this will open the door for many, many auto craftings and automations that I can do. So do you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last Stoneopolis video where we made the infinity generator. Bye bye!